Hey, I'm Adam.
I'm Bryan.
Back with another episode of Buds and Suds.
Okay, so earlier we reviewed this one, but it was really cold. I'd had it in the freezer because at the last minute I really wanted to go ahead and try it, but it was super cold. So we let it warm up to cellar temperature, and it's a completely different beer, as you might imagine. So this is going to be a second review, and I like it a whole lot better this time. So let's start again. This is barrel-aged B.O.R.I.S, a barrel-aged oatmeal stout. Clocks in at 9.4%, 60 IBUs. Hoppin Frog, they do some pretty good stuff. So let's get into it again.
Yeah, B.O.R.I.S, as you can tell by the periods in between the letters, is an acronym for Bodacious Oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout. So
it's bodacious.
Definitely bodacious. So when we reviewed it, we'll just go through a quick run through. It smelled like sweet chocolate, but then we got these more roastiness on the flavor, bitterness. It really lacked the bourbon character. It was very mild bourbon character, not much vanilla, not much sweetness. The roastiness stood out. It was good. We both gave it a 4.25. Turned the camera off, poured more, just let it sit and warm up, and it just changed. And so we really wanted to redo it, and so let's just start like it's fresh. So
okay. That's
what we thought cold. And so if you try this cold, it may be a completely different beer than when you get it closer to 55 degrees or so.
All right,
let's do it. So it's a pitch black beer, and when we poured it, it just had this nice tan brown head, quarter finger or so. Nice head retention.
It holds the glass. Yeah,
holding the glass there.
It's thick.
Absolutely. So.
All right. So nose. The first thing I still get is chocolate, but I still get a little bourbon, but now it's a little more than it was before.
Yeah. I got last time sweet chocolate. I still get sweet chocolate. I definitely get more bourbon.
I get
definitely
a lot more bourbon.
More vanilla.
I guess
smells like a very strong, very good bourbon barrel aged or whiskey barrel aged.
Yeah, I think I get chocolate first, then bourbon, then vanilla. But the bourbon is so much more as it warmed up.
Absolutely.
All right, let's taste it again.
Cheers.
Cheers. So at this temperature, it tastes more smooth, more sweet. I get bourbon first, and then chocolate, and then maybe a little vanilla, but very minimal roastiness, which I find very fascinating because at cold temperature, it was roasty first.
Yeah, and some of it could have been our tongues acclimating to that, but I agree with you 100%. That bourbon really get those bourbon notes. A little bit of roastiness, sweet chocolate, a little bit of roastiness. As I'm sitting here, I get a little more of it. Not as strong as I did when it was cold, but I still get that. I'm sure some of it is just getting used to it, but it definitely has improved, warmed up, and it's a wonderful barrel-aged stout.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, I have to admit my number isn't changing because I was feeling kind of guilty about giving it a 4, so I kind of was between 4 and 4.5 last time, so I bumped it up to a 4.25. This is a solid 4.25 to me. I mean, I wouldn't pay extra, so I can't really give it a 4.5, but it's earned its 4.25 for sure.
I agree. It's one of those that are a tweener for me. It's like a 4.33. I'll stick to the 4.25. I agree with what you said. Definitely meant to be drank at cellar temperature like any other barrel-aged stout, of course. But man, this is really a nice beer. Definitely worth trying. And I enjoy this. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. I think it blends well. I think that it's not overly bourbony. There's not too much vanilla, not too much roast. I think it's very well blended.
Yeah, it's well done. It's definitely worth getting your hands on it. It's available in our area. We can actually get this.
It's fairly available, so you should be able to get this one. And for a 4.25, I mean, I would buy this all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's worth it.
Yeah, so I agree as well. 4.25 for me. Anything else? As always, if you can't have the beer you love the beer you have. Thanks.